Well, hello everybody. In this video we're going to be doing some slab work or some plumbing under the slab, and that's your drain pipes and your water lines that go under the slab. So welcome to our big sandbox. We're going to grab some plans, a tape measure, some string, and we're going to lay out some walls and figure out where some plumbing fixtures go. Alright, well here's our plans, and yeah, they do look pretty simple. This is pretty much what you're going to expect to see in residential construction. Not a whole lot to them. They're just little pieces of paper, and our builders like to use the same floor plan over and over and over again. So once you do this one once, you might do this one 15 or 20 more times. But this first one we're looking at here is our foundation plan. Now this is going to give you a lot of measurements, but not all of them. The next one you're going to have is the main floor plan. This is a 2-story. They kind of messed up here and they gave us 2 laundry room options. So I've decided to use this one because it's the one that's on the foundation and not this one here. And as you notice, there's a powder bath right here in the middle under the stairs. That one's going to be kind of hard to get a hold of. And then we've got an island sink, and then we do have an upper floor which has 2 bathrooms, a big master bath and a full bath over here with two labs. Now we're going to have to put a drop down here somewhere because we're not going to want to carry this all the way across. That's just a little too far to go. We need a drop over here somewhere and a drop over here. So the first thing I want to do is I want to establish this wall here. Now on this one, it doesn't look like that's a whole wall going there, but if you flip it over, this is one solid wall that runs all the way across. So what we want to do is lay out this wall right here so we can establish our laundry room and this powder bath. We're also going to lay out this wall coming down here so we can pull over to hit these two. So let's get our measuring tape. So the first measurement I pulled to lay out that wall in the middle here, it tells you right here on the plan that it's 22 feet and 8 inches. Now you got this form board here. Now if you hook your tape measure to the back side of this form board, you got to remember that form board's 1.5 inches. So you're going to have to add an extra 1.5 inches to it to get you to the wall. This is not the wall. Your wall is actually going to be here because this is a form board. They're going to fill this area full of concrete, and your wall is going to be here, not on top of this board. So remember to add 1.5 inches if you're hooking it across. Now if you got somebody out there to help you and you can hold it on the face of that board, you don't have to worry about adding that extra 1.5 inches. There's something else to look at on the plans, and I'm going to have to give you a close-up. You want to make sure where your lines are going. Sometimes it's going to the outside of the wall, sometimes the distance is pulled to the inside of the wall. It's that little hash mark that tells you which side. And sometimes they put it dead center of the wall. Now your walls are going to be 3.5 inches wide, so that's something to remember when you're pulling these measurements. You got to be looking at these plans. You're going to look at the foundation plan, and you're going to look at your main floor plan when you're doing this, and also, like I said, take in consideration these bathrooms upstairs because you're going to have to get a drop down to them, and you can pretty much put that in any 3-inch wall. So what I did here was I pulled my distance, that 22 feet and 8 inches, and then I added my 1.5 inches to that, and I came and I put a little string line here. Now I did it on this side. I'm going to do it on the other side as well because that distance is the same. Most of the time we would just use nails. We would mark it with a pencil. One thing we used to do is take a brick and wrap it around the string and throw the brick over the side of the form board. But I've got these neat little blocks that masons use a lot. And I like using them because it doesn't mark up my boards. And remember, this is for training, our sandbox here. So I don't want to mark up my boards. I don't want to drive nails in these because I want the guys to have to recreate it over and over again. So 22 feet and 8 inches, we've got our garage wall running here. All right, now to establish this next measurement, we're going to be pulling strings here as well. But if you notice behind me, there's not a board back there. This is supposed to be like a box, and it will be at some point, but when you get to the layout part of this, your concrete guys are gonna form up 3 sides of it, and they're gonna leave the front board off, and that's so you can get an excavator up here, you can actually get onto the pad with a piece of equipment and not tear up their front form board. Now, once your plumbing under's done and you've passed inspection and they cover it up, they're gonna finish their job, and they're gonna put that board up there, and they're gonna do their concrete work, and hopefully they don't knock your plumbing around. But since I don't have that board, I'm gonna have to use some kind of stake. These are my favorite because you can reuse these over and over again. It's a curbing pin is what it's called, and it's for holding string lines. So I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna find that distance off my 2 side form boards, which is 16 feet and 4 inches. Remember, if you hook it, you're gonna add that 1.5 inches, and make sure you check that measurement. Make sure you're going inside of the wall or outside of the wall or in the middle of the wall. But then I'm gonna drive my pin in, and I'm gonna push this around and make sure that string is dead on that distance that I need from over there. Then I'm gonna go over here to the back side, and I'm gonna do like we did for the first wall. Now I've got my 2 walls established here using these strings, and they're pretty tight. When you pull these strings, you're really gonna have to pull them tight. But this does give me the intersection of that wall here, kind of giving me a place to where I can pull some measurements for this little powder bath. This is really difficult to do on camera because you really need to be looking down at this from the top and not sideways. But basically, you got your plans here, and it gives you a distance to this pedestal sink that's going to be right here. Now, the drain for that, you're going to want that to be in the wall. So this string here represents the inside of the wall, so coming toward me. So the wall is actually 3.5 inches off this string going that way. So they gave us a measurement off of this wall, which is the interior wall into the garage over here. So I would be 3.5 inches over here for my wall. But they did give me a measurement off of the interior wall for the garage. So this string is fine where it needs to be. I don't have to add anything. I just have to take their little measurement here, and it is 2 feet 3 inches. So I'm just gonna simply come off that string, run 2 feet and 3 inches. Yep, 2 feet 3 inches. I'm gonna wanna be on the inside of this wall. So 2 feet and 3 inches puts me right there. Now, a lot of the guys use cans of spray paint when they do this. I'll use cans of spray paint once I get this kind of set up and I start figuring out where I'm gonna run my pipes. But that's where I'm gonna have a 2-inch stub up for this pedestal sink. Now, directly in front of that is gonna be a toilet. Toilet's gonna be a little bit different, a little more complicated. This is for the toilet. Now, my plans do give me a dimension. They give me a dimension from that wall down there to the back side of, well, actually it's the inside of this room because of how the little mark is. And they're giving me a distance of 7 feet 10 inches. So I'm gonna pull down 7 feet 10 inches, and I always like to just take a little stick or a rock or something. 7 feet 10 inches. I'm gonna kind of just take that and swing it and make me a little arc right there, because I don't exactly know where this is gonna hit, and I might be too close to this side. But that's coming back down off of this wall, off that string line, the same one we used to set out the pedestal. And then I got this one here. Now you want to be as close as you can, but you ain't got to be that exact. You got a couple fractions of an inch there you can mess up. But it's going to give me a distance of, it's that 2 foot 3 inches again. And line up on my string as close as we can. 2 foot 3 inches. That's actually going to put me over here. Now, I mean, this is just for the educational purpose of it, but we're going to pull that distance again. Now, normally you'd have a helper, and this would be a whole lot easier. So, right there is the measurement for where that toilet location is. Now, toilet drains don't typically go in walls. Toilet drains come up through a floor. So, what you got to remember about a toilet is, as far as code goes, you're going to be 15 inches off of this wall, 15 inches off of that wall. Now, you can get other size toilets. You can get a 10-inch tank, a 10-inch rough-end tank, 12-inch rough-end tank. They've even got larger sizes. But pretty much the 12-inch tank is what we're looking at. So we like to set our toilets 13 inches off the wall. That gives you a little bit of play behind that toilet, and so that lid can sit down on there. So I can't put my 3-inch pipe here. I'm going to have to find 13 inches. And somebody was marking it out. There's some orange paint here. But, so my toilet is gonna go right there. And now we've got our powder bath laid out. We're gonna mark it out with some paint and get some fittings, and then we're gonna start digging and put all this together, but we're not gonna do it in this video because that's gonna take forever. So let's go over here and look at this kitchen sink. All right, this is the layout for our kitchen sink. Now, when you're doing your strings, if you have the opportunity to go all the way across, put you a little nail in that board, go for it. But like I said, I can't really use nails. You're gonna lay these strings out, you're gonna mark your boards, and then when you go to excavate, you're gonna pick these strings up and pull them out of the way because you're gonna reuse them. That way, once you've got your ditch, you can lay these strings back out and have your measurements and locations right there without having to do all this stuff with your plans over and over again. Now, this island sink, they don't give me many dimensions on the actual floor plan, but they did give me 2 good dimensions pretty much to this dishwasher on the foundation plan. So I can do like I did over there. I can pull my measurements down, I can mark my boards and set up my string lines and pretty much get me right to the back of this sink. Now, my distance coming down this way, like I said, is to the back of the dishwasher, so you're gonna have to come over a little bit to hit that sink. Now remember, you got that whole cabinet under that kitchen sink. You can be over here a little bit, you can be over here a little bit, but you need to be in that cabinet. But you got a good 3 feet or so to be off this way and that way. Now this way and that way, you gotta be in that knee wall or a little bit forward. Because those cabinets do have a little bit of room underneath that you could roll up into the knee wall. But I've pulled my distance just like I did here, and this little 2-inch tense cap is for right now symbolizing where that drop is going to be. Well, let's not forget about our dishwasher. Well, let's not forget about our wash machine. Now this plan did actually come with 2 of them on it, but we're only going to use the one over here. You're not going to have 2 laundry rooms in a single family dwelling. I mean, you could, but not a whole lot. Sometimes they do that for mother-in-law suites, but now, if you didn't have to have a drop on this thing, I could just stub up a 2-inch pipe and we'd be fine. But I want to use this back of this laundry wall as a drop for my bathroom that's going to be directly above me. So, in order to do that, I'm going to put a 3-inch pipe right here. This is that same wall that ran down the garage. It's that same string we pulled from the very first time. And then it does give me a dimension over here for my wash machine. But it doesn't really matter because this drop can be anywhere as long as it stays within this wall. But it has to be in this wall. But it could be up here or down there. Doesn't matter. Now, if I'm gonna use this 3-inch pipe for my drop, I'm gonna have to come up with a better vent for this wash machine. So I'm gonna come over a little bit over here, and I'm gonna put a 2-inch vent. And of course, this is just all laying it out. We're gonna show the fittings later on, probably in a different video. But now that gives us our laundry room, it gives us our drop. Now, for that other bathroom over there, we've got that other laundry room on the other side, and we're just gonna put in a 3-inch drop over there as well. Pretty much just like we did here, but it's not gonna have a wash machine attached to it. It's just gonna be a 3-inch drop to catch that master bath. And that's pretty much it for reading your plans, pulling the string lines, and your basic layout.